y'all, what's up? And thank you so much for clicking on this video. It's your girl Kelly. We are back with another one for you guys. And if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, guys. I would greatly appreciate it. I am trying to reach a goal of 1,000 subscribers. So if each and every one of you who's not subscribed could do that for me, I would so appreciate that from you guys. And if you're returning, then y'all already know how much it is appreciated that you guys come here, interact, subscribe, whatever it is that you do. Thank you so much. I truly am honored to have each and every one of you here with me watching these videos, and just know that it is does not go unnoticed, guys. So today we are going to be getting into our very last portion of this series on the trial of the Waukesha Parade Massacre. And the defendant here, obviously I've been trying to limit the amount of times or saying his name at all, but in this last video, yeah, we'll just go ahead and say that this is the final video for the trial of Darrell Brooks, or Darrell, whatever his name is. I don't care how you pronounce it. But this will be the last portion of that, so we'll be getting into a little bit of his closing statements and one victim impact statement at the very end. We'll go over that, and then we'll just kind of get into some other clips showing his behavior in court and how he was interacting throughout these entire proceedings. So if you guys have not seen any of the other videos and you're interested in this trial or in this case, I will be linking the playlist at the end, and so you guys can easily find that. And then, like how this normally works, just to explain to those of you who haven't been here before, I'll be playing these clips, giving a little bit of commentary in between, and then from that point on, you know, it'll just be, I want to hear what you guys think and all of that good stuff. So to start off, we're going to go ahead and state the names of all these victims of this monster who did this crime of you know, basically running his car through a Christmas parade in Waukesha. So these people, rest in peace to them, are Tamara Durand, Wilhelm Hospel, Jane Coolidge, Leanna Owen, and Virginia Sorensen, and Jackson Sparks. And God bless all of these people. We pray for them. We honor them. And this is what this series was truly about. It was dedicating, you know, these videos in their honor, and just to remember them and to highlight the evil that is in this world in the form of this person, Darrell Brooks, and how he acted not only during the crime but after, and in such a manner that we can truly see that there are people out there in this world who have no sympathy or empathy for others and can act so callously as this person did. And it's good to be aware of those types of things, just so we can take better care of ourselves and our families and be more aware of the threats that are truly out there in the world. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get into our first video, and let me know what y'all think in the comments down below as we're going through each of these. And yeah, so let's get into let's see, this is the judge, and mainly, this is just an interaction. The first couple of videos are going to be interactions between himself and the judge, which we saw a lot of this throughout the entire trial. Him trying to delay proceedings, him trying to basically, you know, basically just cause a ruckus, cause a disturbance to the trial to make it to where, you know, these proceedings would be drawn out, and that no one basically had it easy. He wanted to make life as hard for everyone as possible, and it's truly highlighted throughout the entirety of the case. But in this video, we'll get into that. It's really on display in this clip here. So let's go ahead and start it from here, and we'll get into it.
So I'm not hearing a request from you at this time. You said you wanted to raise a legal issue. What's the legal issue?
The legal issue is how is the state allowed to coach the people?
You're assuming they spoke to them and coached them.
It's obvious. I'm not stupid.
Well, I disagree with that, sir. Again, you could ask questions to lay a foundation
all of a sudden the state
with these witnesses.
All of a sudden, for the first time in trial, all of a sudden now they don't got no cross. That's clearly a rush to try to get through the case. Hurry up. We just gonna let these people go.
Well, this is argument.
Come on, man.
This is argument on your part, sir. It is pure commentary
I just want
at this
that on
point.
the record. I see through it.
And your see-through
but I see through it.
has...
So his objection here, because we did start the video kind of in the middle of the entire clip, so I'll provide a little bit of context. He was basically upset because in the process of calling his witnesses, I guess towards the end, the prosecution stopped wanting to cross-examine. They stopped having any questions on cross, which I think he has a point. Like they probably were trying to get through this trial because it has been dragged out by you, the defendant, sir. So yeah, I'm sure towards the end they pretty much knew that they had it in the bag. Even from the beginning, everyone knew that this was in the bag. You were guilty, and people knew that from the jump. So I think that it doesn't take a brain surgeon or rocket scientist to figure out why the prosecution didn't want to cross-examine your witnesses after you had just gotten done getting up there and making a mockery out of everything, the entire court proceedings. You pretty much did it. You made the case for them. That's what the whole deal was. You made their case for them. So why would they ask any other questions and waste everyone's time if you did the work for them? It's pretty simple, actually, if you have a brain cell or two.
Has absolutely no basis in fact.
I know that's what's being done.
You could ask these questions. You could ask these witnesses certain questions, and you're not.
I'm far from an idiot.
They're your witnesses, sir. If you believe.
So I'm gonna start asking every witness up here that they seem just to mysteriously now not have any cross for. Have they been coached to answer the way they answer? Because
well, you can't ask that, but you can ask them if they've met with anyone ahead of their testimony here today, which you've done with other witnesses.
I find it very funny that these are their reports, and now all of a sudden you can. Oh, I saw the person in the car. Oh, but
Mr. Brooks,
I saw them reach for something.
To delay these
I
proceedings.
don't recall what they had on.
Mr. Brooks, there's no purpose for you saying this right now.
Don't know what they had on. I find that very.
I'm having the jury brought out. I'm instructing you to avoid the commentary when the jury comes out, or you will forfeit your right to be present.
You.
There's an issue that we do need to take up potential as to a witness by the name of Abel Lescano. He has prior criminal history.
Thank you.
So as long as the jury's out, we should probably discuss that. I would like to provide the defendant and the court with a copy.
So that had to be said. So it's the defendant.
I'm sorry. I do not mean to laugh, but towards the end, I think he just stopped giving any type of fuck I don't even know if there ever was one to give, but the way he just said that, and she did kind of like put emphasis on that word, I'll give him that, but like, what, just what, I mean, we've seen this a couple times, where people have like gotten up and made a mockery of the court proceedings by representing themselves and acting the fool, but like, I don't know if we've seen anything to this extent, because that was just, that it made me laugh. I'm sorry. It's not funny. I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing, I'm laughing with myself, pretty much.
That's not how it was said.
That was how it said. You want to run the record back?
Mr. Brooks.
So I'm the only one. I got one ear that work, and I heard that.
This is to benefit you so that you understand
none of this to benefit me, so let's
has
be clear
a
about
prior
that.
record.
Your Honor, when I leave the table, I'm away from the courtroom, and I have to elevate my voice. This is the alleged record of Abel Lescano.
Stop talking.
Come on, man. Like, I don't know who y'all be thinking y'all fooling. I accept the value in return for value this document.
One more interruption and you're going to be removed to the next courtroom.
That's what you want to do anyway.
It's not what I want to do. Do not interrupt Attorney Opper.
So can
Your Honor, I believe he has 7 prior criminal convictions via OWI 2nd from 1997 and OWI 3rd from 1997.
That face! Why? Just what?
And an OWI 4th from 2003, criminal trespass dwelling from 2006.
All right, I need to take a break. This man right now is having a stare down with me. It's very disrespectful. He pounded his fist. Frankly, it makes me scared.
Me too.
And we're taking a break.
Oh my God. Yikes.
Everyone can have a seat, and then we'll just wait for the door to close.
Hey guys, so what did y'all think of that clip? That was That was probably the most if you can call it entertaining. And I'm not trying to make light of this. Again, we are here to honor the victim's memory, but we are going over these clips of this trial and the way that it happened. And sometimes, through pain and through, hurt and all kinds of other, bad emotions, you have to laugh at certain times. And that was the time that we could find a moment to laugh, because it's over. This is not something that's ongoing. This trial has concluded as of months ago. So if there was a funny moment of the trial, that was definitely it. Okay, so just what do y'all think? Let me know in the comments, guys. Am I being a dick? I don't know. Let me know. Whatever, good or bad, I want to know your thoughts. So this is the next clip we're going to get into, where he gets upset with the prosecution once again for mentioning his criminal past, and he has another outburst. Surprise, surprise.
And
yes, we can hear it very clearly.
Everybody assumes that it has to be disparaging.
Once again, you're doing this tactic
because
you tried
it's not a tactic. It's facts.
What we're talking
it's
about
facts.
To some other reason.
It's facts. Because I find it hard to believe that
I'm gonna
all
let
of
the
a sudden
state,
nobody hears what I say.
I'm going to let the state make a record of why they believe it's objectionable, because I haven't let them do that. I've given you multiple opportunities to tell me why you believe it's...
I didn't get these pictures from nobody else. Why was somebody else...
The record will reflect you have two...
So he was basically, just to provide more context, basically he was trying to ask the court if he could enter into evidence pictures that he says he supposedly got from his ex, or his baby mama, his ex-baby mama, whatever, the woman that we all saw testify in one of my previous videos, who he had a fight with prior to ramming his car through the Christmas parade and killing and injuring dozens of other people. So he was saying that she had sent him photos of herself, basically, or just trying to allege that she was writing to him, sending him photos of herself, and that he was trying to enter this into evidence as basically that he wasn't, she wasn't injured by him on that date. And they're going back and forth. Obviously, this is something that's not allowed. You cannot just spring evidence in the middle of a trial. So that is the context behind this video. And the judge was basically arguing with him, trying to get him to understand the legal proceedings, but he didn't want to understand. This was not his purpose. He was never trying to really do anything but cause disruptions.
Pictures that you believe were from this witness.
That I know is from him.
No, that you believe.
That I know.
All right, I'll ask the state their position on all of this.
My position, Your Honor, is that these pictures, first of all, should not be admissible. One, because of a discovery violation. We've never seen them before. Two, because we have reason to believe that he did not get them from Erica Patterson. He is on a jail phone call talking to his mother, Dawn Woods, about Dawn Woods sending these photographs to him. Now,
that's a lie. I object to that.
Let the state make their argument without interruption, sir.
That's a lie, though.
Three, I believe that these photographs are designed to make a suggestion to the jury that Erica Patterson is a bad mom. I think that is what the defendant is trying to do. And if we're going to go down that road, then we would be forced to counter that claim. First of all, it doesn't make her an incredible witness, if it's even true. And second of all, if we go down that road, we would be forced to counter that claim by pointing out that not only does the defendant not live with the child in question, he doesn't live with any of the other children that he has. He impregnated Erica Patterson when she was a minor in Nevada, and for doing so, he was convicted of statutory sexual seduction, pled guilty in March of 2007 to that felony offense, and is a sex offender on the registry as a result. So if there's any causation that would lead to Erica Patterson being a bad mom, Mr. Brooks has a direct role in that causation.
And that's
furthermore,
I object to that.
I'm not
because that's a lie.
Let him
at
finish.
the end of the day,
Let him finish.
If we don't open the door on that, no, since he want to make a record and not be accurate, so let's be accurate all on the record. Since you think you know so much.
Oh.
Once
so
again,
we can
Mr.
open the
Brooks
door
is
on.
being
We can
loud,
open the door on how old she told me she was when
interrupting.
We can ask that question
he is
too then.
over the top animated
Do you
right
know
now.
that?
Mr. Brooks, I'm ordering you to sit down and to let the state finish.
No, I'm not going to sit here and let somebody be inaccurate on the record and lie on the record.
Right. Under Illinois versus Allen, I've warned him repeatedly. He's being removed from the courtroom. And you know what? me dial that back. We're just going to take an early lunch, 1 hour. We'll be back, and unless he brings that letter and he can show it is inadmissible, she will not be questioned, and under 906.11, I will declare the cross-examination closed. Thank you. We're in recess. 1 hour.
Get your facts straight.
Oh my. Yeah, so that is Daryl Brooks having an issue with the prosecution calling to light his past misconduct, you could say, I guess, with possibly having sexual relations with his minor baby mama. I don't know. You know that saying that the truth hurts? Y'all think it could apply here? Y'all think it might ring a little bit true to him? Y'all think that maybe the reason why he had the reaction that he had was because, you know, it hit a little too close to home? I don't know. Y'all let me know down below what y'all think, because I think that he's a disgusting piece of shit, and that the reason why he had that reaction in court was because he knew it was true, and he knew that, you know, he had this criminal record, and he didn't want it to be brought up. He didn't want to make himself look bad, because he's putting on a show at the end of the day. He is a narcissist, and narcissists don't like to be called out on their actions. They don't like when you bring to light past crimes and past you know, bad mistakes that they've made, or any mistakes they've made whatsoever, because then that, you know, creates a little schism in their little mind, that they're trying to portray that they're this, like, you know, grandiose person, that they're this, like, amazing individual, and then whenever you actually hold a mirror up to them and show them the truth, then they react this way. They have this, like, knee-jerk reaction of they're gonna go off on you. And I guarantee you, if he had not been in a court of law and under different circumstances, he probably would have physically attacked this man. So y'all let me know, guys. Okay, and so now we're gonna go on to the judge actually having to remove him and forfeit his right to testify. And just how he reacts here, it's going to be a short clip.
So that he is present in the courtroom when the court advises the jury that the defense is resting. I realize that will be over his objection. I'd ask that he honor that. Mr. Brooks, I'm going to unmute you. If you can pledge to this court that you will honor that ruling and that you won't challenge that directly in the presence of the jury, I will bring you back over for that. Are you willing to make that pledge, sir?
Make what pledge? I'm not making no pledges.
Sir, you
asked me a question, now I can't answer.
Yeah, no, go ahead, answer.
You're trying to coerce me into violating my right to remain silent. How can you coerce me into my right to remain silent? So you're not going to protect my constitutional rights? Because I didn't answer nothing that you
Okay, so that right there is what I feel like he is going to hinge his appeal, or his attempted appeal, because it still has not been granted yet. But I feel like this right here is why I wanted to include this clip, was because I feel like this is what he's going to say is the cause for his motion to appeal, because he wasn't properly given the right to get on the witness stand and testify for himself. And to that, I just say, and maybe you guys can answer this for me, how is that even possible if you're representing yourself? Who's gonna ask you the questions? Like, who actually is the one who? Oh, sorry guys, there's a cop. So anyways, who's going to ask you the questions while you're up on the witness stand and you're supposed to be representing yourself? What sense does that make? Oh, Lord have mercy. It doesn't make any at all. So, I mean, maybe in that circumstance, maybe there's a public defender that comes on. Y'all let me know. I didn't look enough into it because I don't really care to know what would happen in that circumstance if you are representing yourself. But I feel like this is what he's going to actually hinge that motion on. He's going to say that she violated his constitutional right to basically testify on the stand in his defense. So what do y'all think about that? And do y'all think there's any weight to that, what he's saying and the way that he has been acting? And let me know if y'all know anything about if somebody's defending themselves what is the procedure if they do want to actually get up on the stand in their own defense? Because I really don't know. I wasn't able to find that answer. Okay, guys. So this will be the closing argument that he is going to give, and we'll play a couple minutes of this because we all know how slow this man talks. He is like pouring maple syrup out of a freaking bottle, out of a pinhole. And so I'm not going to subject y'all to too much of this, but I did want to play a little bit of it because I found it to be quite interesting, and it really shines a light on his narcissism and puts it on full display here. So,
first off, I'd just like to start by letting you guys know that it's a lot of information that you guys should be privy to, I believe. And one thing that I believe that you have not been privy to is the truth of your rights and your duties, being the jury. The fact that you and you alone have the power, not well-prepared DAs with well-prepared and clearly rehearsed speeches and exhibits and a lot of theatrics. Frankly, not the judge.
I'm sorry. Did he say that the prosecution had theatrics? I just want to make sure. Did I hear that? Did I get that right? They were the milquetoast 3 attorneys that were sitting at the desk the whole time, following proper procedure. They had the theatrics? Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
You and you alone have the power. You and you alone decide what is truth and what isn't truth. You should be informed that you have the power to nullify any law that you don't agree with.
What?
Objection, move to strike the statement.
Sustained.
Objection.
I will strike from the record the last statement made by the defendant. The jury will disregard it.
Which is clearly what I've been saying. I believe that not only is it fair, but it's essential that you be privy to all knowledge.
What?
Not knowledge that certain people feel that you should hear and shouldn't hear, disguised under the color of law.
Oh my God.
The fact of the matter is, just like I did with my opening statements, I don't have a well-prepared or rehearsed speech.
And whose fault is that?
I didn't look in the mirror and say certain points to myself over and over again to make sure I have them right or anything like that. I've chosen to speak from the heart.
Oh, wow.
In my opening statements, and now I'm going to speak from the heart.
Oh, wow. You have a heart?
What you won't hear me do is argue facts.
Oh, we know that.
And the reason you won't hear me argue facts
Because you don't have them?
is because I believe that it takes away from what should be recognized.
Oh, okay.
The tragedy of this event, it should be recognized.
Oh,
Trying
really?
to argue facts of this, facts of that.
So now he wants to recognize the tragedy of the event that he caused, the event that was unnecessary in everyone's life, the event that was tragic. Now he wants to recognize it in his closing argument, mind you. Very, very interesting, guys. So I'll give him a few more seconds and then we'll cut this off.
I'm not going to waste your time doing that.
Wow, thanks.
It's a little emotional. I apologize for the long pause.
Okay, there's another one.
It's hard to keep everything together emotionally. And honestly, I don't believe that I have any more tears left.
Wild. Yeah, so I don't know if you had any more tears to begin with, sir, because we have not seen a one. And, you know, you saying that you're emotional and that it's hard for you and all this, you know, you could save it, okay? You could save it and you could really shove it up your butthole, because why don't you take a look around you and see exactly where you're at? Read the room, sir. Like, your victims are in the courtroom. Like, the families of your victims are there. I'm sure they have all the emotion in the world, because they actually are human beings, people who have, you know, sympathy and empathy for others, who actually were hurt by you. But yet you want to get up here and talk about how hard this has been on you? And not only that, like, let's put the victims to the side just for 1 second, which, you know, but like, not to mention all of the emotional turmoil that I'm sure you've put everyone in this courtroom through, and anyone who has been subjected to your behavior over the course of your life through. I mean, you just cannot, you cannot, like, you can't write this. Like, this is better than a movie, honestly. This is more, you know, absurd and outrageous than what you would find in a movie. So, I mean, let's just go on to the next clip, and then we'll be wrapping this video up. We have about 2 more clips left. This is the verdict being read out, and then we'll get into the final clip, which will be a victim impact statement, which is very powerful. And so let's get into this. This will be a quick clip of just the judge reading out the verdict.
Which would be what I would expect. Right, I will read each one into the record. We, the jury, find the defendant, Darrell E. Brooks, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 1 of the information.
Bitch.
Dated this 26th day of October 2022.
Look at him.
Signed by the foreperson, juror number 11. If you find the defendant guilty of first-degree intentional homicide, answer the following question, yes or no. Did the defendant commit first-degree intentional homicide while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes. We, the jury, find the defendant, Darrell E. Brooks, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 2 of the information. Did the defendant commit first-degree intentional homicide while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes.
And that seems like the very first emotion we've seen from him throughout this entire trial. Him bowing his head in shame, as he should.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Darrell E. Brooks, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 3 of the information. And I should state, as to count 2, it was signed and dated by the foreperson, same as...
So, spoiler alert, guys, he was guilty on all charges. I believe he had, 70-something charges against him, which included charges against all of the victims that he killed, and then charges for all of the victims that were injured, as well as other things like, you know, just like what they read, you know, the causing harm with a deadly weapon, things like that. So he was found guilty on everything, and it was rightfully so. So now I want to get into the victim impact statement, or just one of the victim impact statements. This was a very powerful statement given by the son of one of the elderly ladies that were run over and killed by this man. And I just want you guys to watch this. We're going to watch probably almost the full entirety of this clip, just because it was so powerful. And I want you guys just to see how the difference of, you know, these two individuals, these two men who appear to be similar in age, you know, and just how we can tell, you know, evil, like we can clearly see evil in its purest form in the flesh via this man, this defendant here. Okay, so let's get into this victim impact statement.
And Mr. Brooks, I hope as I read my statement, you continue to roll your eyes. I hope you continue to laugh and just show how bored and unmoved you are by all of this, because I think that's important. It's important for the world to see that evil can be a tangible, living, breathing thing. I think it's important for the world to see what human rot looks like. And to all the survivors, every time he puts his hand on that empty cavity where his heart should be, I hope you all smile, and I hope you take solace in the fact that today is our day. Today is for us. Today is so we can take our handful of dirt, throw it on his grave, and move on. Because that's what we all need, and that's what we deserve. My name is Chris Owen, and I am the plaintiff. I'm here on behalf of another plaintiff, my mother, Leanna Joy Owen. Lee Owen was a mother, a grandmother, a best friend, an apartment manager, and a dancing granny. The reason none of the witnesses saw her in this courtroom is because she was executed by a child-killing sex offender.
Oh.
And we are both
God.
injured parties. My whole family is an injured party. To my kids, Lee Owen was nanny. And Nanny spoiled her grandkids every chance she got. On every birthday, she would call and sing happy birthday to their voicemail so they could hear it the first thing in the morning. She went on a tour of my son's summer camp. She danced in the same parades as my youngest daughter. She wanted my oldest daughter to use her car to learn how to drive so she could teach her like she taught me. And all of that has been ripped away. But the defendant's conscience is clear. To my dad, Lee Owen was the love of his life. They met when she was 16, and he taught her how to drive. From that point on, they stayed in each other's lives. And even though they divorced, she was still his best friend. They spent a lot of time together, and she was the only one who could get him out of the house. Now my dad has nightmares of her body flying through the air and shattering against concrete. But Mr. Brooks' conscience is clear. To my brother and I, Lee Owen was our mother. A mother who, even when she was struggling, was always there for us. She was supportive of us. She always told us how proud she was of us. Growing up, all my friends and my brother's friends knew they were welcomed at our house. When they were in trouble, having problems at home, or just had to get away, she always let them stay as long as they needed to. And for years, every time I came home from the Marine Corps, she got all those same friends together so I could see everybody and spend time with them. She was the one that made sure everyone got their Christmas list out on time. She made the best eggnog I ever had. And she made my grandma's mac and cheese whenever we were together. She recently renewed her passport so she could visit my wife and I in Turkey and travel the world with us. She also couldn't wait to visit Machu Picchu with my brother. It was her dream trip. Out of all the places in the world, that was the one place she had to visit before she died. And now the best we can do is lay her ashes there. But Darrell Brooks' conscience is clear. And I believe him. Out of everything he said in this courtroom, I believe that is the one truth he told. I mean, how else could he make a witness look at each of his battered friends that he ran over and ask, how do you know who this is? Throughout her life, Lee Owen was a hard-working woman. That's why when she found herself on hard times, she was able to overcome them. Even though it took years, she dug herself out of a deep financial hole so she could live the life she wanted, the life she deserved. And she was in the middle of doing just that on the evening of November 21st, 2021. And I know this is corny and cliche to say, but Lee Owen wasn't 71 years old. She was 71 years young. She was one of the most active people I knew. She just didn't have it in her to sit still. She always had to be moving or doing something, and this often involved people. She was very social and loved being around those she cared about, and people loved her back. She had a knack for making you feel good about yourself without even trying, because she always found the good in people. Even when it was to her detriment, it never dissuaded her from helping people any way she could. Without judgment, without demand for repayment or feeling she was owed anything. She did it because she knew it was the right thing to do, and it made her feel good. She accepted people for who they were and made people feel good about themselves. That is what the world lost, and you have the audacity to tell this court that your conscience is clear. I'm sorry, Mr. Brooks. There is not a human with a soul on this planet who could snuff that light out, who could steal Lee Owen from this world and have a clear conscience. And that is why you hear the term monster. That is why you hear the term demon. You know, I saw you that day. It was just after you ran over the Catholics. I saw you hanging out of the window, looking back with a smile of satisfaction on your face, laughing at an inside joke that at the time I didn't get, the punchline escaping me. I didn't get it when my mom didn't respond to my texts. I didn't get it when she didn't answer my phone calls. I didn't get it the first couple hours my brother spent looking for her. I didn't get it until my wife sent me a video of you running over children in the parade. That's when I got the punchline. And it hit me like your red SUV, Mr. Brooks. I saw a pure, unrepentant evil in your face that day, and it disgusts me that you are allowed to exist. And I know the answer to the question that everyone keeps asking. I know why you did this. You did this simply because you were not in a cage. That is what I find mind-boggling. And how dare anyone say the system failed him? The system failed every one of us whose only mistake was to bring their families in the vicinity of Mr. Brooks. That poor excuse for a man should not have been on the streets. That is the failure, period. But enough about him, because today is not about him. It's about us and what we lost. I lost my mom, Lee Owen. And I'm
going to just pause it for 1 second. If you notice, this is when he started having reactions, visible reactions, facial reactions to this man whenever he said enough about him. Because before that, he was kind of relaying, you know, he was talking about him, and whenever it became not about him, that's whenever he started having a visible reaction. I just wanted to point that out.
Wasn't always a good son.
Wow.
I could be selfish sometimes.
Wow. Look at this
I could be
man.
mean.
Look at him.
But no matter how angry or
Disgusting.
standoffish I got, she would bend over backwards for me, even when I didn't deserve it.
He's disgusting.
And now I can never tell her I'm sorry. I can never tell her I should have been more grateful. I can never tell her how much I need her in my life. Yeah, shake your head. Shake your head. You know, because that is what you took from me. And there's nothing this court can do that would provide justice in my eyes. So all I ask is that you rot, and you rot slow.
Amen. And that was absolutely perfect. I didn't want to interrupt him, except for that one little instance in that one moment. But absolutely perfect what he said there. It is so true. It is, you know, beyond evil what this man encompasses. And what this man did to these victims is truly abhorrent. And the fact that he could sit up here and listen to this man's emotional words and his, you know, pleas for, you know, some sort of justice from this event that happened to him, that was unnecessary, that did not need to happen. All he could do at the end is roll his eyes, shake his head, and act like the utter animal that he is. Truly disgusting individual here that we're dealing with, and that luckily has been taken out of our society, and no one else will ever have to deal with him, you know, be a victim to his disgusting crimes. And, you know, for that we can be thankful. But again, to the lives lost at the hands of this individual, you know, we honor you, and this is in memory of those people. And luckily justice was served in this case, but it is truly, you know, in comparison to what was lost, it seems insignificant, the justice that was done. So y'all let me know, guys, what did y'all think of that victim impact statement? Again, that was a long clip, but I just wanted to let it be heard because it was very it was very meaningful and very emotional thing to listen to, and I thought that he put it into words in a great way. He talked about his mother, and he talked about how, you know, his experience that day at the hands of this disgusting defendant. And so I just wanted to let it play out and for you guys to hear it, because it is something that needed to be said to this man. Obviously, he didn't care, though. He said in open court he had no remorse. He takes no accountability. But luckily, he will have the rest of his life to rethink that point of view. And who knows? Maybe one day he will, you know, see the error of his ways. But my friend, it'll be too late for you, okay? So y'all let me know, guys. What did y'all think of this video? Like, like it if you liked it. Please let me know in the comments all of your thoughts on all of the clips that we saw today. And that'll do it for this series for the Waukesha Massacre and the crimes of Darrell Brooks and, you know, rot in hell. Just as this young man said, you know, we will not give you a single other thought if by some odd chance that he does gain or win an appeal, then we might cover that, but who knows. I doubt it, honestly. I feel like the judge did a great job in this case, that, you know, she made sure that there were no issues that could provide an appeal, but we'll see. Crazier things have happened. So y'all let me know, guys. Please subscribe to the channel if you had not already done it. And until next time, guys, you know, I will see y'all later. Y'all stay safe, and yeah, take care, guys.